Так, звук есть, картинка есть, хорошо. Так, кабинет смотрителя. Что-то тут ничего нету такого. Товарищ,
I'm honored that you should come to me.
I'm looking for some quicksilver. Would you have any on hand?
Talk to my assistant. He deals with such trivial matters.
Fine, thank you.
Goodbye.
помощник смотрителя, значит, да?
Take care now.
Сколько времени? 10. Уже не спит где-то. Какой яркий,
I
мало.
can be of some humble service to you.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
Что за бедный художник?
Nobody, I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That
Ах ты
sounds
сучёныш.
almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Can't you? In the Sasau monastery? That seems unlikely. It looks more like you're lining your own pockets to me. I wonder what people would have to say about that.
It's not. I'm not. Oh, shit.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was. Without a crest. Armed.
Пан Ежик.
He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Raposa, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
God be with you.
Так. Мастер Хейвер. Хейфар. Ну да, такой был уговор с мастером, надо поболтать.
Asparagus for taste and prunes for what ails you.
Potions
We
made
have it
from
all.
magical herbs.
Greetings. What do you need?
Под бродягу замаскировался.
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Right.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
Not yet.
Maybe it would be worth the time.
I'll go and see.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapota.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He never did anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
See you later.
cucumber. Love the cucumber.
А, вот самый, тот самый.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone. Which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague. Or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high. Or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest. As though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
Мгм.
He owes me money.
Naturally. Dice or boozing, was it? Pray do tell.
Both.
Sodom and Gomorrah are too good for the boy. Here you go. I'll dock his wages.
Thank you, Master. You're most kind. But I'd rather get it from him myself.
If you think he'll have anything to give, please yourself. About your question, you'll find him at home. No doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bathmaid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, goodbye. А это кто? Крестьянин.
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
See you later.
Yeah.
God save. How may I help you? Good night.
I hear you're at odds with Apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he rises up, he'll get the girl back.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's another fine... I won't say what. I told him everything, but he says he won't do nothing about it.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my Esther deserves what she got. Poor girl.
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and taught her and gave her a job, and now she's gone. Who knows if she's even alive? Goodbye.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
See you later.
God preserve you, good knight. Can I do something for you? God be with you.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dice for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course. That scum took her right out of the bathhouse.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry for what you're going through, honestly. But I'm not the only one who's after these people. As soon as they get wind of something, they'll be out of here and Esther will be gone with them.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, they'll kill her.
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the shit pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. And I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapita?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapita waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give it to them without seeing Esther first.
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Skalitz Hills. My poor Esther, they'd scared her half to death.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never let her go, even after I did what they wanted. They said they'd be needing more.
More punch dies?
They wear out over time. They have to be replaced regularly.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first, I took it for a bad joke. And then, when they snatched Esther, there was nothing to be done.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Go. I hope you get revenge. Good luck, then.
Are you Rapita by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know that you spy on Florian. I know you were involved in the kidnapping of the bathmaid, and I know why you're doing it all.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course, of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time.
That's him!
No, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skalitz mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skalitz Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Jezek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Jezek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, Better Sir Jezek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get run off back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Jezek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
An honourable death? No chance. It's the dungeons for you, and the sort of punishment a counterfeiter deserves. Don't worry. In time, you'll be glad of the gallows.
God bless you. Good luck then.
Salami, sausages, meat of all shapes, sizes and flavours. Magical herbs plucked from the flanks of snow.
Got it for you right here.
I finally found out where the forger's workshop is. Master Faithfar was right. The forgers are sticking close to the supply source.
I'll fetch it
Their
right
workshop
away.
is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
I'd have... Yeah, that all you've got? Dwarf! Get over here!
Well done.
Hey, all of you! Gather here! Raise the alarm!
What's the matter? Come on!
What's that? What?
Well, look what's come crawling out from under the road.
Jesus Christ. Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila.
And who's he?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut. Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Ratai.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that.
I have no choice, as you are aware.
Why do you want to kill him? He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason, my master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Radzig Kabila.
You're a traitor.
The world is not so black and white, boy. We were on the same side for a while, but no longer. That is how it goes.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognized the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kabila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Please, please. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfar is very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfar. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rate. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Ratai then.
I've got something for you. I got them from Uncle Peshek. Just don't go poking them where you shouldn't.
They're lockpicks. They're not really intended for poking in your own locks.
True, but at least don't get caught. And if you do, you didn't get them from me.
I've got something that needs stitching up. Could you do it for me?
All right. I can't have you walking around in torn rags, can I? Show it here. Have you come to rescue me, Sir Knight?
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
I'd love to. Henry, do you think sometimes about how it was in Skalitz?
How do you mean?
Back then, before everything. When I was taking care of the hens at the mill, taking Sammy his lunch at the mines.
It seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
In the summer, I always took my shoes off and walked barefoot the whole way. And when it was really hot, I'd stop at the stream and stick my feet in the water for a while.
I had to make do with the tub in the yard when I was helping Pa in the forge. You know how hot it gets there in the summer? I always sneaked off if I could, even though I knew Pa would tan my hide when he came home.
I remember that. He was always looking for you all over the village, but you'd be hiding somewhere with Fritz and Matthew. Me and the other girls used to follow you secretly, but we never told your pa where you were. And when he gave up looking for you, the three of you would go off to the woods to beat each other with sticks.
Yeah, we were playing at being knights. Jesus, I used to get black and blue from it. I can still feel some of the blows that big ox Fritz landed on me.
No more playing at nights. Now you're practically a real one.
Indeed, as you say, young damsel, I am the very soul of knighthood.
Ah, the noble Sir Henry of Balderdash, the very picture of manhood. Pray, what is your coat of arms, Sir Knight? A beer tankard? A pair of crossed chicken legs?
Such wicked words, you shameless wench. Being a knight is not about symbols, but about deeds. But my coat of arms should be a bolt of lightning above a stable.
I thought a knight was supposed to prove his manhood a bit differently than you with your lightning in the stable. And besides, it is unfitting to talk of such matters, lest there be complaints at the court that Sir Knight is wasting his strength on dallying with village girls.
Forgive me, fair maid. Love for you has clouded my reason.
Henry, you really are a donkey. Here we are. Thanks for stopping by, Henry.
My pleasure.
Hey, lad! Don't you want a little wager on the ratte tourney?
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Bernard to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir. Sir, my investigation led me back to Skalitz, and I happened across a criminal there. I just wanted to report to you, sir, that I dealt with that murderer. He attacked me and... well, I got the better of him. He won't be doing any more harm to anyone.
That was a brave deed, Henry. Thank you. I see you've been doing an excellent job in my service. I sent a patrol there some time ago, and they never returned.
Look out.
Excitement, surprises, and of course, knightly virtue. I now declare the Rat-Eye tournament open. Combatants, get ready.
God save you.
I need the key to Jezek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
Don't take it that way. He probably wants to talk to me because he reckons he can hoodwink me. But that's where he's wrong.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks. I'd like to improve my...
Certainly.
I want to achieve mastery.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot?
Sorry. All right. Good luck then.
Good day, Henry. Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor...
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get an opportunity like that every day. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
I suppose there's some truth in that. I may speak with Sir Radzig and he might pardon you, but not unless you start talking.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I have to think about it. I don't want to annoy Sir Radzig.
Broccoli, cucumbers, asparagus and prunes.
І там студенька камена, а в ній воденька.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things. There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Yezhek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Yezhek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Yezhek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I'm not sure where to start, sir.
Then ask around the alehouses and inns, or at the Rathaus. Someone must have heard something. These things can't be entirely kept in the dark. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Yezhek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
As you command, sir.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I've got a few questions for you, Bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some trouble around here?
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain? Who sent you here?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian. And he's got no dog in this fight either.
You have an inn and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. Now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sassa. Seemed likely they get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchpoles go by there from time to keep an eye on things.
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town? Maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him doing this or that, or people visiting him at night. But he's never done anything. He's a decent enough man. For a miller.
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up. He might not be able to help.
Thank you, Bailiff.
God be with you.
If your cottage burns down,
I'm glad to see you.
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
When are they there?
Nearly every evening. Every god-forsaken evening. Shouting and bellowing there till nightfall. And then they leave. Probably to get drunk.
How many of them are there?
How would I know? They make as much noise as a herd of wild boar in rutting season.
And did they all attack you?
Aye. They knocked the stuffing right out of me.
And nobody does a thing about it?
I've been to the bailiff, but he couldn't give a rat's arse. There's no commotion under his window, so what does he care?
That's quite a bailiff you've got.
A scarecrow would keep better order.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward. Don't worry. God be with you.
God almighty, can't you see there's people there? Also, you're going to tackle me to death.
Hey, my man. Care for a little contest, We've met before, haven't we?
Come to think, yes, we have.
So, you know how it goes. The bet is 5 groschen. I'll give you a riddle, and if you guess right, you get double. If not, the groschen are mine. So, what do you say?
That sounds good. Let's do it.
Pay close attention. There was once a merchant who had a magic pouch. When the merchant put 1 coin in it and waited overnight, he found 2 coins in it the next day. So, he waited until the following morning, and lo and behold, there were now 4 coins. And the morning after that, there were 8, and so on and so forth. After 60 days, the pouch was completely full. My question's this. In how many days would the pouch have filled up if the merchant had put in 2 coins instead of 1 on the first day?
30.
No, no. The correct answer's 59. It may seem that the pouch will fill in only half the time, but in fact you will save only the first day when the 1 coin multiplied to become 2. Oh, don't you fret. Very few people can figure out my riddles. So, I thank you, and may we meet again sometime.
Not if I see you first.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Listen, have you heard about anyone looking to recruit men around here? Or planning some kind of mischief?
No.
Come on. I know how it is with millers. I've been friends with a few and they hear all the gossip.
So go ask them.
I doubt their ears reach all the way here.
Then it seems you're out of luck.
Surely we can come to some arrangement.
I don't much care for strangers.
So, what do I have to do to get in your good graces, Master Miller?
Well, if I heard from those Miller friends of yours that you can be relied upon, and you're not a complete dolt.
I'd like you to teach me how to be...
Certainly.
I'm interested in...
All right, but it'll cost... Now, pay close attention. May the Lord...
Greetings. What do you need?
What did you do? You killed him?
Me? What do you mean, me?
You were looting the body right here on the road.
What of it? A corpse doesn't need possessions.
It'll be easier if you just confess.
What the hell do you mean by that? I won't take any more of this. I'm going into town to say you're falsely accusing me. Take care.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
What happened with the tanner?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He came to test his mettle like everyone, but he couldn't even get past young Weed. Then he started whining about getting his money back because we tricked him, so we threw him out. He came back a few times after that complaining about all the shouting, and ordered us to bugger off elsewhere.
But you didn't?
No. And when he got really annoying, he got a punch in the mouth, and he hasn't been back since. Doesn't dare to. But it didn't shut that big mouth of his.
I heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
Willing to do anything? Meaning what? Something filthy like helping the knacker? I wouldn't know. Go and ask someone else.
That's not what I meant, but all right.
God be with you.
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants fearless men. Do you know anything about it?
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if you're not afraid of carcasses and the occasional pile of shite...
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it someone's hiring mercenaries and other fighters.
Ah, well, you've heard more than I.
What are you doing here?
Nothing special. Just a little evening wrestling. It's good for your back and digestion. And your purse too, if you know your business.
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough?
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you?
I want to get... I'd like to...
First you have to have...
Well...
See you later.
I'm glad to see you.
I heard that someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I'm always the last to hear of anything like that. I'd ask Punch. He'd know.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Good luck then.
Ah! Kurwa! Ah! Ah! Now! Ah! Ah! Fuck it! Ah! Ah!
I knocked him down, and he pulled me down on top of me. I slammed him with my hip, not my arms.
Archer's you had his nose right between your nether cheeks.
You little piece of shit. You want to have a go?
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? See you later.
I heard you gave him quite a beating.
It's his own damn...
Really?
That's what he told you? Bollocks!
He really tried to have a go? I wouldn't think he'd have it.
He tried, but he didn't have much luck.
See you later. My humble greetings.
I heard someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. I work in the quarry, and they're always looking for extra hands to replace them that's got something broken.
That's not what I meant, but thanks. Let's fight!
You look pretty good. But I'm betting it was just luck.
We'll see.
Goodbye.
Curse it!
Giving up already?
God save you, good knight. What can I do for you?
I've heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
If I knew you better, I might tell you. But as things stand...
Let's fight!
That wasn't bad. But let's see how you do with me. See you later.
Missed! God! Take care.
Let's fight!
That wasn't bad, but now we'll take it up a notch. Take care. I'll slay you for that. Now.
I want to fight you.
You put on quite a show. Can't say I expected it. Take care. Fucking hell! I'm over.
Ow!
Mess! Jesus Christ! Take off! Well landed!
Made him senseless that time, remember?
Yeah, we remember.
Wait a minute. Was that the time you dropped on him and then sat on him?
No, it was before that. He's talking about that scrapper from Rate. I didn't sit on anyone. How many fucking times do I have to tell you?
You landed on his face with your ass so hard the ground shook.
You're an ass. You'd better hope I don't shake you.
All I'm saying is that's the way it looked. You fell on him and then sat on his face.
You too, you bastard. I've already told you what really happened.
So we all saw it wrong. What really happened then?
I knocked him down, and he pulled me down on top of him. I slammed him with my hip, not my ass.
Archer's done. Looked to me like you had his nose right between your nether cheeks.
See you later. Gonna have a go.
Boys, don't fight.
That was pretty good. I didn't think you had it in you.
You were really good. I've got to hand it to you. Most lads don't make it past me. So listen, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
There are people here looking for really tough men, and I'd say you fit the bill. So when you walk through town this evening, if there's a light in the church, go in and wait a while. If they like the looks of you, they might give you some work.
Thanks. I'll think about it. The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night, and I thought I might convince you to stop.
Ha! So all his whining finally found a friendly ear, did it? Let me tell you something first, whelp. I'm the bailiff's man, and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's only been whining like that since he lost a bit of silver. Didn't bother him before that.
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lads. They'll tell you the same. It's God's honest truth.
I'll take you at your word. But what should I do now?
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old liar, and leave him be or get down to business.
What do you mean, get down to business?
Well, you may think you're pretty tough, and if you give us all a thrashing, we might think it over. But then again, we're no strangers to a hard fight.
If I break your arm, then you won't be coming here for a while, will you?
But I'm a fair fellow, so I'll make you an offer. If you enter our tournament and win, which means beating us all, then we'll go elsewhere. If you don't win, then you're flat out of luck and have to leave. That's not so bad, is it?
Look here, lads. I hope I won't be seeing you around here again. Go and find some other place for your games.
All right. We'll go. But if you want to fight again, you're always welcome. I bet you'll come off worse next time. Goodbye.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I've taken care of the lads who were bothering you. You'll have a quiet evening tonight.
God bless you, lad. And here's something for your trouble and kindness, unlike that miserable bailiff.
If anything else grieves you, just say the word.
Good luck, then.
What was that?
Hey, I'm honored that you should... God be with you.
kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like. People talk.
Well, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
The bailiff's man told me about you. The one who runs the fight club in the quarry.
Did he now? Well, I hope you trounced him. Bastard took my money at dice.
If you want, I can give him a proper hiding, just to show you I'm serious.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight, but not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius? And why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Well, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine-looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk, then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars, and I doubt he suddenly stopped drinking.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Good luck then.
Greetings, Henry. I hear you won the rat-eye tourney. Well done, lad.
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof massacre... It's getting a bit...
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz.
That's excellent news.
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhof too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities. Take care.
Элвис Пресли, приветствую. Ну, по сути, надо книжки читать и стараться реплики красноречия использовать. Довольно быстро качается. Ну и обаяние. Обаяние поднимается предметами. То есть одевать на себя одежду, которая повышает обаяние. Например, вот такие же шляпы дворянина. Но я, честно, этим не заморачивался вообще. Само собой получалось. Практически с самого начала. Чем чаще пытаешься в диалогах использовать, тем чаще будет успех. Тут, в принципе, вся прокачка завязана на использовании. То есть, что ты используешь, что и качается. Дерешься на мечах, качается меч. Процент красноречия, сейчас скажу. Красноречие 19. У меня самый прокачанный навык. То есть, сила уже позже. После идет. Красноречие на максимум. Ну и тут перки постепенно открываются. То есть можно видеть, каким именно способом его уговаривать, угрожать или наоборот убалтывать. Репутация увеличивается. Вот простолюдин, простолюдин или представитель знати плюс 3 единицы красноречия либо со знатью, либо с простолюдинами. Ну, чаще приходится общаться с обычным народом. Хотя по-разному, наверное. В общем, пытаешься в диалогах постоянно как-то уладить миром, и тогда красноречие прокачается. А если с предметами, вот у меня уже 20-очка.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. God be with you.
Блин, естественно, это не Карл. Планируете получить профи и пройти игру на платину? Нет, я, честно, не люблю такой херней заниматься. Прохожу в удовольствие просто.
God save you.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. See you later.
Ну да, похож на Карла.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. See you later.
Ёлки, не толкайтесь.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No.
Так,
A meal to go with the ale, please.
ага.
First person to get in my way is going to get his head smashed in. What? Are you volunteering to get your head smashed in?
Calm down. I don't want any trouble.
Then get lost.
При соответствующем обаянии улучшается процент красноречия. Ну да, то есть не только сам навык. Ну, в принципе, обаяние как пассивка здесь идет, но обаяние влияет на общее восприятие тебя как персонажа, что, в принципе, отражается на красноречии. То есть сила убеждения, условно говоря, увеличивается с твоим внешним видом. Если ты ходишь грязный, в лохмотьях, в окровавленных там вещах, то красноречие и обаяние падает. Если ты ходишь постоянно чистенький, и у тебя есть там всякие ожерелья, бусы, красивая одежда, то у тебя повышается навык.
You think? Well, watch this. Wench, pour us a pitcher and be quick about it. Keep watching.
Так, вот этот, наверное.
If you drink any more, you'll need help.
Greetings, good night.
Да я не с тобой разговариваю.
Good luck then. Team of oxen could drag me to the monastery.
Пожалуйста,
As drunk as you plan,
обращайся.
take you there in a wagon.
My humble greeting. How may I serve you?
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No.
Да ёлки.
See you later.
Got two hands.
Кто из вас Карл?
Surely we can come to some kind of agreement.
We cannot. Your father made his wishes crystal clear.
А, вот он.
Besides, they've already accepted.
Я понял.
Well, you could tell them I run away. Or I'll find someone to go to my place. Then I'll vanish. And I promise no one will ever see me again.
The monastery is where you're going. That's that. It is not worth risking your family's honor if someone were to find you out.
Why couldn't they have had me whipped instead? Or put me to hard labor? Why did they have to send me to the monastery?
Спасибо, Элвис, спасибо за подписку.
It's the only place on this earth where you'll never again.
Чем могу, как говорится. Так, давайте поболтаем.
God be with you.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel, so instead I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
По каким дням стримите по МСК? Ну, четкого графика нет. Могу, в принципе, стрим начать практически в любой день, когда мне время есть. В любое свободное время, в основном, где-то с 8 вечера до 11 до 12 ночи. Примерно так. Есть телега, я в телеге присылаю уведомления. Если интересно, можешь подписаться.
Could we speak in private? I have some issues with the monastery.
Really? Well, I'd love to talk about it, but we won't have privacy as long as Manfred here has his head permanently stuck up my arse. Get rid of him for me, please. Good luck, then.
I'm glad to see you.
You're Manfred, the young lord's guardian?
Indeed I am. Why?
Так.
I've been looking for you two for quite some time. I've been sent by the young lord's father with a message intended only for him.
Has my lord changed his mind at the last minute? Who are you? I've never seen you before. You look trustworthy enough. I'll leave you two alone for a little.
Вот видишь, пожалуйста.
See you later.
На ровном месте просто задурил.
Just as you ordered.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Here's the women. Good
God bless. And good health.
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Satisfied?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the lord of your fief.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The lord of Bukovo was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to spend the rest of his days on his knees praying. But that's your problem. You can only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ? I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare-arsed? What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only steal that old man's pouch, I'd be gone faster than lightning and no one would ever see me again.
Так, сейчас, минутку. Так, вторую часть, да, планирую. Но уже есть, я специально пришел первую перепройти. Я уже проходил. Присутствует другая озвучка. Вроде есть чешская, но мне не зашло. Так.
That's all then.
Good luck then.
Значит, надо украсть кошелек.
Certainly, I'll fetch it right away.
What?
Calm down.
I get.
В каком городе стильный кофр синего цвета? А это не кофр, это часть брони такая. Часть доспеха. Это секрет. Просто так. Его не приобретешь. Ну, ты же, я так понимаю, хочешь пройти, поэтому я не буду тебе спойлерить.
I've got what you need. Excellent. Give me the purse. You can do as you like with the ring.
Here you are.
Good luck, no matter what you plan on doing with those mummies. Best be on your way now before Manfred finds out that he's been robbed.
And what are you going to do?
Get my things together and disappear. I want to be as far away as possible before that old man even knows I'm gone. Take care.
Карта сокровищ. Честно, у меня есть и карта сокровищ, но я, честно, эти сокровища не искал. Одно или два, по-моему, я нашел. Что-то мне неинтересно стало. Душноватый момент. Я, в принципе, не все активности люблю вот такие там найти, что-то там, честно, не очень люблю. Квесты больше интереснее, сюжеты, побочки. Или ладно, сейчас сохранение будет и так.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone, but he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery, so there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monks' robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. God be with you.
Вещи не хочу просто так. Мини-квест в монастыре, где нужно охраннику принести реликвию, некую чашу. Выполняли? Да, выполнял. Выполнял такой квест. Так, выложи вещи и личное имущество. Блин, надо на лошадь, наверное, повыложить все. Так. Ну, факел хрен с ним. Так. Это все на лошадь. Это тоже на лошадь. Да елки. Блин, я забыл фамильный крест отдать одному. Привет, Ури. Так, это съем. Так, на всякий случай положим. Так, выложи все личные вещи. Че, все, что ли? Дело в том, что потом возвратить ее нет возможности. При прохождении мародера этот охранник устраивает драку. Да, я, честно, там есть на самом деле возможность ее вернуть. Там на свечу, рядом со свечой наводишь на землю, и появляется кнопка Е, можно ее поставить. Но я об этом забыл, и он тоже на меня кинулся драться. Завтра патч будет на вторую часть, вот думаю, играть или подождать. Да, поиграй, почему нет. Там же не должно ничего критичного произойти.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
А, ну моды может быть. Я ими не пользуюсь.
You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Блин, этот душный монастырь, я его прям помню, что не взлюбил. Вот они. Но у меня положилось. У меня даже на стриме это есть. В одной из предыдущих серий. Даже после того, как драка произошла, положилось.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum, et vivam, et non confundas me,
Давай, Юрий, забегай.
abectatione mea.
Стимовская версия.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione me.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor.
Брат Григорий.
Welcome, brother.
Ты имеешь в виду с чашей? Не исключаю. Может, какие-то баги есть.
I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Да, ПК, персональный компьютер, я понял.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go.
Это душная часть
One word. Discipline.
с распорядком
It's
дня.
your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
По-моему, даже вот предыдущей серии, в 14-й, был
We all sleep,
момент с этой чашей.
which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Serveth.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work.
As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction.
Дополнение, да,
Canes they carry.
все прошел.
Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, the circuitous. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see.
Возможно, зависит от версии. Установить чашу исхода места не получилось. Печально. Да нет. Я просто сначала субтитры читаю, потом чат смотрю.
Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
It occurs to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Hilarious. They say he used to be a thief.
Отлично. Так. Что он мне там дал? Список повседневных дел. 3 утра, начало дня. 4 утра, завтра. Совместная трапеза, 8 утра. Работа, 12 библиотека. Молитва, 6 вечера, вечерняя трапеза. Блин, вечер уже. Один раз будете игру проходить, ну да. Я уже 2-й раз прохожу. Я в 18-м, по-моему, году проходил. Так, где остальных-то надо найти? Ну, в этом прохождении чисто основные какие-то квесты прохожу. В принципе, репутация везде нормальная, за исключением ровно, потому что там жителей как таковых нет. А так везде хорошая. Ну, где улица-то? Что-то я по кругу бегаю. Нет, я решил не проходить на сложном.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
Что за убийство и адюльтера? С убийствами, конечно. Адюльтер что такое, я честно не знаю.
I'm interested in the other novices. Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure. What am I saying, creeping? He was stomping.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
He can't sleep.
Well, that's all. Thank you for your time.
Так, ладно, с этим понятно все.
I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
Интересно.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas.
Вот он.
Nothing else matters.
Мутный.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Do you know anything about Yodok?
I don't. He doesn't like me, and he's on very friendly terms with the Circators. That's about it.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him. I've never asked about him.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
I'd like to ask... Well, that's all.
Ладно, пока это самый подозрительный.
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during the ceremony. I have a feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm a Circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything is the way it should be.
And when it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. What can you tell me about the novices here?
And what can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager, perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hard-working and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse, and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You've everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight, so no one can get in or out.
Так.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nevlis, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live a humble life and that any surpluses go to the poor. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
Is there anything I could help with?
You know, there is. Perhaps you've heard that Abbot Peter is gravely ill. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the Libri Prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Someone really wreaked
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Стимные требования соответствуют, да, 40-60 вполне соответствует. Я запускал уже вполне неплохо.
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Is there anything you can tell me that would help?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't tell you where or how. Perhaps Brother Celerius could help.
Someone really reeked at Matins.
Why can't you do it yourself?
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me crawling around in the black of night searching for a forbidden book?
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried? Unfortunately, Librarian Cyril is a stubborn ass.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Celerius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and I'll then use it to make Peter's medicine. We'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favour?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Nevelis, vote for Nevelis"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
Так, отлично, подмазались. Игры ожидает в этом году. Да не сказать, что что-то ожидаю. В последнее время какая-то шляпа выходит. Battlefield новый, интересно посмотреть бы было. Готику ремейк. Ну, там я, честно, ничего хорошего не жду. Старого-то полно. На 100 лет вперед хватает. Так. Нужны отмычки. Нужно найти какого-то киллера. Так, это тут шизик. Без отмычек, конечно же, я не могу. Так, вот этого я видел.
What would you like?
А, ну это наш Это того, кого я
What do they do in that kitchen?
уже видел. Вот он, чиш.
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they seem to squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself. Especially the part about the coin.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
That's all. Thanks. I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
Actually, I don't care. God save. I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother.
Salve, Domina. Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
Плюс застрял.
Peace be with you, brother.
Вот он еще один уставший.
What troubles you?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Так, ладно. О, библиотекарь.
Talk to me, brother.
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to read them.
Is there anything I can do to help here?
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing, a silly thing really. I haven't thought to mention it to anyone before, but not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled up in a hole in the wall. The thing is, it was a page from Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who. Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
What's there left to drink to?
To our fresh young novices, our swift steeds, and our boundless cellars.
You and your novices, you old pervert. A toast to our future abbot.
I'll drink to that. You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You won't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
All right. I wouldn't mind some wine.
That's more like it. Sit down and have a drink, my lad. Quite right, brother. Just sit down and drink with us. When the wine runs out, Yorick will fetch more.
Peace be with you, brother. And what is it, brother?
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Drinking.
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
Why not? I've had enough opprobria and obedientia for one day.
That's what we like to hear.
Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Peter.
So, to Peter. He's done so much for us, but his time is at hand. To his immortal soul.
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Well, nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are. But this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty, and we need a new one. We're a bit old for such exertions, but you, on the other hand...
I'll help you. What do I need to do?
Ha! I knew it! Help Novice Yorick arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night, the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him. Let's play!
Just the man we've been waiting for, my friend. So, let's play.
I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit sour.
Talk to me, brother.
What troubles you?
I'd like to...
Ah, down the hatch. Every gulp and shriek. Isn't that the truth?
No wonder. Our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yonok to bring some Rhine wine. I'm losing my taste.
Why doesn't Yonok drink with us anyway?
He's young. He wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm. To make you so proud.
No, clear off. Let me sleep.
God be with you. Praise be to Christ, brother. Learning in my reach. Talk to me, brother.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet. Ah, this looks like the Saracen language. Ib Abbas. That's who I'm looking for. Avicenna.
Unbelievable. Imagine these men could have been burned at the stake just for writing these books. Many were, I'm sure. It's mostly Latin, that's not much use. But what about this one? Magical potions for conjuring diverse apparitions. I'll take it.
Hey, you better leave that here.
What are you so afraid of? No one will notice if one or two books are missing. This one looks interesting. A sorcerer's potion for rematerializing the body physical in other realms and for conversing with spirits of all manner therein. Oh, I have to try it out. I'll remember the recipe and prepare it later. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Well, probably the same as you. I want to be able to read in peace and quiet. And not just the books they make us read.
What exactly do you read here?
Well, I'd be interested to find the unofficial biography of Saint Procopius, but there probably is no such thing. To be honest, I was expecting some entertaining reading, but it's just the same old stuffy nonsense. But if that locked cabinet there with all the forbidden books was open, that would be a different story. Until recently it was still unlocked, but after something vanished, they've kept it locked tight.
Maybe I could get inside.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
We'll see what I can do.
Praise be to Christ.
Salve. Be well.
What is it, brother?
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Huh? Why are you waiting? This is not a good time for questions, brother.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Can't you see where it... Talk to me, brother.
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure for our suffering abbot. Then I'll leave it in the library to make it seem as if Brother Librarian left it lying about. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests, as he'll look like the one who wasn't taking proper care of the books. It will drive him mad. I didn't leave that book out, or did I? Is there anything I can do for you in return?
I'd be interested in finding out the background of the other novices.
That's a strange wish you have. And the only ones who know everything about the novices are the abbot and the prior. They keep a record of every monk in the abbot's book, but you'll never get your hands on it. It's locked up in the prior's study.
Thanks. You've helped me immensely.
No, thank you. About that book, don't even think about breaking in to get it.
What do you want me to find out?
I'd be interested to hear about any iniquity.
I've discovered something about the wrongs being committed here.
I see. Tell me more.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything else...
Silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment of sin to make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, "In much speaking you will not escape sin." And in another place, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." For speaking and teaching
Praise be to
belong
Christ, brother.
the master. The disciple's part is to be silent and to listen. For that reason, if anything. Saint Benedict.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
The spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my...
I'm looking for something a little...
And what? I was mute and was...
I'm looking...
Lock? Silence even from good things.
I'd like to...
What? So... The spirit of silence ought to...
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent and to listen. For that reason,
Gregor, talk to me.
It should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence.
I was talking last night with the brother Cicators. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine, like last time.
Well, yes, it's true.
I'd like to help you.
Would you really do it? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but we've no other option. If wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
Well, you see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able to pick the locks.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to steal the keys.
How can I get hold of the keys, do you think?
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them. Brother Celerius, the cellar keeper, used to be a burglar. He knows his way around locks, and maybe could help us, if you could find a way to arrange it.
Do you think he'll want to take part in theft?
No, but he could give some advice, or maybe get some lockpicks to open the gate. You'll figure something out.
If you think so, I can try.
Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come and see me and we'll make our plan.
Rule of Saint Benedict. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, rarely be granted even to perfect disciples. Labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the
Praise be to Christ, brother.
Let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if any... say the Bible. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet said. I said, I will guard my way. But as for coarse
Praise be to Christ, brother.
idle words that move to laughter, these are condemned everywhere.
Talk to me, brother.
Brother, I've a favour to ask, and I think you're the man to help me with it. Or you used to be, before you came here.
I see. So it's the dodgy sort of favor, is it?
Well, yes. I need to get hold of the keys to the monastery.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off. A prior always keeps the keys close by him. So how exactly do you imagine I could help?
Could you take the keys off him?
Rob the prior? You've got to be joking.
You wouldn't be doing it for free?
Then what could you possibly pay me? I'm done with my thieving, and you'd have to offer me a whole lot of groschen to change my mind.
How much would you want?
A princely sum, brother. This is no trifling matter.
That much? Where am I supposed to find that much coin? No one here has any money.
Precisely. But no groschen, no theft. And think twice before you ask me that kind of favor again.
Brother,
I see.
Well, how could I get hold of them?
With great difficulty. Unless you want to rob the prior.
Is there any other way to get out of here?
The door out of the monastery is like any other. Only the lock's more complicated than most. But I can sell you some lockpicks. And with a little training, you'll make short work of it.
There's something else.
Brother, remember the vows you made. We're forbidden to leave the...
You have some interesting skills for a monk. Don't suppose you want to tell me how you picked them up?
What's there to tell? We were all young and foolish once. I was a student in Prague, completely broke, living from hand to mouth and studying all day. It wasn't an easy life.
So you turned to stealing?
I set about securing a livelihood as best I could. A goose, some new shoes, a bit of coin to spend with my friends. Without that little bit extra, I'd never have completed my studies. I would have turned into a beggar. And who else do you know that can say he's serving God thanks to having been a thief?
No one, brother. Thank you for telling me your story.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
About those keys.
Did you get them? Keys? Or at least lockpicks?
Not yet.
Well, hurry up then. You don't want to keep the...